Hey everybody, Kuroda here. So unless you're living under a rock, you will know that today is a Nintendo Direct. And I just wanted to very quickly add my voice to a sea of voices on YouTube and just give my opinions on, what exactly we're going to see at this Direct. Now, it's been quite a while since we've had a Direct. It's been, from what I understand, one of the longest gaps in quite a few years now between Directs. So a lot of people are kind of jonesing for some real new information. The last full direct we got was in September, if you don't count the Smash Direct. So it's been quite a while now, and I, like many other people, have been really, really itching for one, and now it's finally here. And there were a bunch of rumors about it being in January, and then of course there was the recent leaks and stuff about it being the 13th, and then wow, what is it? Today's the 13th, and now we're getting a direct, so it's great. It's going to be at about 5 p.m. my time. I'm Eastern Standard Time, so translate that to wherever you're located, and be sure to watch it. I will be watching it. I will not be able to stream it, unfortunately, so I'm sorry about that. I will be at work. I can't even record a reaction, unfortunately, but I will be doing a post-direct discussion video, which should be posted tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing that on James's channel, my friend James, also known as Bacon Mob, where so if you're not aware of his channel, a link to it will be down below in the description. But anyway, there was a lot of leaks that kind of predicted a lot of what we will be seeing at the Direct, and there's been all kinds of rumors and stuff about all kinds of games for quite a while now, and I've kind of watched a bunch of, I watched Game Explains, discussion predictions video that they always do before the Directs, which is interesting, and I've, just kind of looked at some, paid attention to really, a lot of the leaks and stuff going on, and, a lot of games that people have been talking about, and I've compiled myself a little list here, maybe not so little, but, of games that, I think are most likely going to be talked about or revealed in this direct. And what I've done is I've separated these games into tiers. So the first being very likely, which is stuff that I think we're definitely going to see. The second being rather likely, so stuff that hit or miss. It seems kind of likely to me that some of this will be talked about, but there's also a chance that some of these things won't be talked about. And then I have rather unlikely, which is stuff that makes sense, stuff that's been talked about, stuff that's even been rumored, but it isn't really, a lot of these, there aren't really any isn't really much of an official word on them, so they're a little less unlikely. And then I, of course, have my pie in the sky predictions, which I will I will hopefully be able to get to at the end of the video. But for now, I guess we'll just get right into it and talk about the things that I think we're definitely going to see at the Direct today. And the first of which I think we should get right out of the way is Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, this is pretty much the only game guaranteed to be talked about at the Direct today, because basically it was announced as part of the Direct. 35-minute presentation, and they're going to talk about Fire Emblem Three Houses. So we might finally get a release date for that. I hope we do. We're probably going to get more, a new trailer for it, I would imagine, and a bunch of more information. I wouldn't doubt if they focused a lot of time on Fire Emblem. Especially, and my guess would be it will be releasing relatively soon, so I could really see them pushing a lot of the Fire Emblem. And the fact that they even mentioned Fire Emblem Three Houses leads me to believe that that will be one of the main focuses of the Direct. So out of the gate, Fire Emblem Three Houses will most certainly be included. And while I'm on this, before I forget, I did notice that when they did announce it, I don't have the exact script here, but they basically mentioned about new Switch games coming, but they didn't mention anything about the 3DS, so that leads a lot of people, including myself, to believe that there aren't going to be any 3DS games talked about at this Direct. I think the only possible exception to that could be the Kirby's Epic Yarn port for the 3DS, but other than that, if even that, I don't think we're going to get any 3DS games. But anyway, so Fire Emblem Three Houses, I think we're going to get a lot of, like I said, new trailer, new information about the story, all that, release date. That's most certainly going to happen. The next thing I have, oddly enough, and I didn't really think this myself, but it makes perfect sense, is Pikmin 3. So, the guy who and I'm sorry, I can't remember his name right now. I'll probably put text here or something. But the guy who leaked the date of the direct being today, the 13th, mentioned this as one of the games that will be coming to the Switch. He didn't say specifically if it was going to be part of the direct, but I would imagine it would be, and that's Pikmin 3, a port of Pikmin 3, originally released on the Wii U. I think with all the Switch or all the Wii U ports to the Switch, that this is extremely likely. Like, to be honest, I mean, Pikmin 3 was sold relatively well for the Wii U. The Pikmin franchise is one of the lesser Nintendo franchises, but still popular enough that I could see them porting this game. I mean, if they ported something like Captain Toad, I'm sure they're going to. This seems like a no-brainer. Pikmin 3 I think will definitely happen. So, Pikmin 3 is, I think, on the way. Yoshi's Crafted World, I probably should have even put before Pikmin 3. I mean, we got a release date for that in January, so I would imagine we'll see like another trailer. Maybe they'll talk about it a little bit. I don't think they're going to go too in-depth with Yoshi's Crafted World. Maybe because it will be, as far as like most of the other games on this list, as far as what we know officially, this is the game that's slated to come out, the soonest. So unless Fire Emblem ends up getting released early next month rather than the latter part of March, which I kind of doubt. I think Fire Emblem will probably be like April, May. I don't think. I think really Woolly World's the next big AAA first party Nintendo title that we're going to be getting on the Switch. So I think Yoshi's Crafted World will probably at least get a decent little chunk of time. So I definitely would say Yoshi's Crafted World is pretty much a no-brainer. We're gonna be getting that. Another one on a very likely scale, I think they're going to talk a little bit more about that Game Freak RPG Town. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this, but it was one of the real standout games for me personally at the last Direct because, when's the last, aside from Pokemon, name another Game Freak RPG. So, I don't know, I'm really interested in it. I hope they show more of it. I think we're more likely to see Town than Pokemon personally, but I'll talk about Pokemon later. But I think Town will be a really interesting game, and it's a game that I'm really excited to hear about actually because it's brand new. It looks interesting. I like the whole idea of the whole game being in one town, so I'm kind of interested if it's going to be like a bigger game or if it's going to be one of those, if it's going to be like a digital download only game that's kind of a smaller scale. I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to hearing more about Town, and I hope, and I kind of think, honestly, that we're going to hear at least something about Town. Maybe a release date, maybe something, maybe another trailer, I don't know. But Town seems very likely to me. The other really big title that everybody's been talking about, it's been rumored for like over a year now, is the Metroid Prime trilogy. This is the game that I'm allowing myself to get hyped about because obviously, unfortunately, Metroid Prime 4, there was the update that they're starting from scratch, so there's no way we're going to see Metroid Prime 4. So a lot of people, I think, really want the Metroid Prime trilogy, which has supposedly been finished now for quite a while, if rumors are true. Metroid Prime trilogy has been rumored for a long time, so I think to whet people's appetites in lieu of Metroid Prime 4's delay, I think it's a smart idea, and I think honestly, like, if it's done, just release it. I mean, that gives all people a lot of time to play the original Metroid Prime trilogy, and an opportunity for a lot of people who didn't even play the original trilogy to play it. So, I played the first one. I have never played the second and third, so that's one that I'm really looking forward to. I had it on my Wii U, but I remember they changed the controls for the original Metroid Prime. I didn't try the second one, but they replaced it with the Wii controls, which I didn't like. I think I'm kind of excited to play it with the two Joy-Cons personally. So I like that, plus the fact that it's going to get a nice shiny remaster, hopefully in HD. I mean, I think those games really, the Metroid Prime trilogy, are meant to be played in HD. They were really good looking games in my opinion for the time, and I think a nice little upgrade will be nice, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I really hope to me that's kind of like the standout title that is most likely to be released or announced tomorrow or today, and I hope as far as like a release date, I hope it's very soon. I don't know when it's going to be, but I hope it's very soon. That's a game I could maybe see them putting out relatively soon. Maybe not as soon as Yoshi's Crafted World, but maybe within the next month or two, something like that. So yeah, Metroid Prime Trilogy. I'm excited, and you should be too. If you haven't played it, play those games, because Metroid's awesome. In terms of third-party Nintendo games, or excuse me, yeah, third-party releases for the Switch, I think the number one thing we're probably going to see, most likely thing we're going to see, is release dates for Final Fantasy 7, 9, and I would also like to see Crystal Chronicles. Particularly Crystal Chronicles, actually, because it was a game that I always meant to get for the GameCube, but I never ended up getting. So, like an HD remaster, and from what I understand, has online play, which would be pretty awesome. You know, it would make my online membership seem worth it, that I could play Crystal Chronicles, especially potentially with, you know, anybody that has it, like if any of my friends get it. So I'd like to get that, and I'm also considering getting a Final Fantasy 7 digitally on the Switch as well, so I'm excited for that. So I think release dates for those games, we're definitely going to be seeing at some point during the Direct. I hope so anyway. It seems really likely. It's possible, I guess, that they won't talk about that, but I can't imagine that. I imagine we'll get some kind of release dates. Same with Mortal Kombat 11. I'm sure they're going to talk maybe a little bit about that. It was revealed at the Game Awards that it's going to be on the Switch. I think it's a pretty big third-party AAA title to be ported to the Switch, so I could see them dedicating a little bit of time for it, certainly. It's one I'm considering getting. It's one I'm kind of excited about, and I kind of hope they do it. So we'll see. We'll see if they show at least a little bit of Mortal Kombat 11. The other one that's been rumored is an Assassin's Creed 3 port for the Switch. I find that kind of exciting. I'd be kind of into that. There's been quite a few like rumors and leaks. Apparently there was I believe it was Assassin's Creed 3. There was a release date leaked by a retailer. So, you know, I could totally see them again, absolutely focusing on Assassin's Creed 3 a little bit. There's been tons and tons of older games ported to the Switch, and I think a game like Assassin's Creed 3 would be a pretty big, honestly, quite a big deal as a port for the Switch. So I think it's very possible. I think it's actually really likely as far as another third party port to the Switch. Now, in terms of the whole very likely category, there's some non-game related news that I'm expecting. I'm hoping and expecting some new information about Amiibo. As you guys can see behind me, I love Amiibo. I collect Amiibo, especially the Smash line. And the Smash King K. Rool, Piranha Plant, and Ice Climbers are coming out on Friday. So I would imagine maybe we'll be seeing release dates for the next wave of Smash Amiibo, and possibly, who knows, maybe Amiibo for other games. I don't know. But I'm sure they'll talk about Amiibo. That seems like a very likely thing. They're always releasing new Amiibo, so I'm really excited about that. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of information, particularly about the Smash Amiibo. And who knows, maybe for something else like Yoshi's Crafted World or Fire Emblem even could receive Amiibo. So I'm sure we're going to get some kind of information about that today at some point in the Direct. In terms of Smash Brothers, I don't want to get too into Smash Brothers, but I'll say I think it's extremely likely that we're going to get some kind of Joker trailer or Joker gameplay trailer, something. I think since he is going to be the first paid DLC fighter, I think we're going to maybe get a peek at his stage, maybe a little peek at what music's going to be in the game from Persona 5, and I think probably we're going to get some kind of footage of him. It seems extremely likely at this point, I would imagine. If there's any Smash news at all, I would imagine it would be, the primary focus would probably be on Joker, I would imagine. And I thought I had heard somewhere that there was some kind of significance, and I haven't played Persona 5, so excuse me, but there was some kind of significance in the date, like the 13 date and Persona 5. So if you guys have played Persona 5, maybe you could enlighten me in the comments below. But yeah, in terms of Smash, I think the Joker trailer is absolutely going to happen. And in terms of other Smash stuff, I'm a little bit skeptical, but I'm not going to, just poo-poo the whole idea. But I'll talk about the Smash stuff in a little bit. Lastly, I think we're very, very likely going to see more information about the Switch Online. Now, this is something that a lot of people, including myself, have a big gripe with. People aren't happy with the Switch's online service. This whole like trickling out of NES games has been not really good for Nintendo. I mean, if you look at the videos, if you look at the videos for the monthly, NES game release, every video has more dislikes than likes, and it's usually people complaining in the comments about how the online service sucks. They don't have dedicated servers, all that. I think we're gonna definitely at least see Super NES games being added to Nintendo Switch Online. I think that is backed up, in my opinion, by data mine that happened where a lot of Super NES titles were actually revealed to be on the Switches Online. So I think there's a very good chance that, in fact, I'd say almost certain chance that they're going to be talking about Super NES games for the Switch. So hooray! I'm happy. I hope that happens. It'll make my Switch Online membership seem worth it. I've got a huge Super NES collection. I've got a Super NES Classic, all that. So I mean, technically, I don't need it, but the convenience of having those Super NES games on my Switch would be great, and it would bring a bit more depth and more it just make the service that I'm paying for seem a little bit more worth it. So I think Super NES games are definitely going to happen. I also think Netflix is going to happen. We got YouTube. I believe it is. We have Hulu as well, but we don't have Netflix. But so not sure what the deal is there, but hopefully we're going to see Netflix, I would imagine. I personally would like that. I still use Netflix on my Wii U, actually. So, having it on my Switch would be great. So yeah, I think Netflix is definitely something that'll happen for sure. If not this direct, it's in the near future, but I can see it very likely being something that is revealed in the direct. And hopefully, I really hope they talk more about the Switch Online and have new exciting news for us about improvements to the service. Like dedicated servers would be nice. I don't know. But I mean, that seems unlikely, but I hope they are looking to improve the service itself in some way. At the very least, I hope it's Super NES games, and at best, I hope it's like Super NES games, Netflix, dedicated servers. That bit, I'd be super happy. That'd be perfect, in my opinion. I think that would be a lot more worth it for a lot of people. And something that I haven't heard anybody talk about for some reason. I don't think the Game Explains guys talked about it. I haven't really seen anything with any articles about it or any other YouTubers talking about it. Is I wonder if they're going to be talking about Xbox Live being now being available on the Switch. That was a huge announcement. Just what was it, a couple weeks ago? And there hasn't really been much about it yet. So I could see that being something that they highlight in the direct. Why not? I hope they do. I'd be interested to hear how Xbox Live is going to work on the Switch. So, yeah, I mean, me personally, I could see them maybe talking about that. Maybe not. I don't know. But it seems likely to me that if they're going to have if they do discuss online, which they most certainly will, that they'll at least mention Xbox Live. So I think that that's something that I would like to see, and I think is also very likely. Now we're moving on to the rather likely category, which I think is basically like stuff that I think at least some of this stuff is going to be talked about, but there's also a chance a lot of this stuff might not be talked about. But a lot of this stuff is a combination of either rumor or rumor, common sense in a way, and also like just officially revealed titles that we want to know more of. So in terms of that, I think it's rather likely that we'll at least see Luigi's Mansion 3 and Animal Crossing, and hopefully get release dates for both. I really hope we do, because those are two games I'm actually very interested in. I've never played an Animal Crossing. I want the Switch Animal Crossing to be my introduction to the series, especially if it has good online play. And Luigi's Mansion 3 I'm really excited for because I love that series. So I would at least like to see a new trailer for each, or at the very least some kind of I would definitely like to see actually a trailer for both, because we really didn't get much of a trailer for either. So a nice longer extended trailer for Luigi's Mansion and some kind of gameplay of Animal Crossing would be nice. and if not, at least like a release window or date or something would be nice. But both of those, I think it's rather likely that one of those games, if not both, are going to show up in the Direct at some point. The next couple are huge rumors for the Switch that were part of that leak that guy who leaked the Direct date had talked about, and that's Mario Maker 2 is the first one, and Mario Maker just makes sense. I mean, I think a lot of people thought that the original Mario Maker is just going to get ported to the Switch from the Wii U, but it kind of makes sense because, Mario Maker was heavily reliant on the Wii U gamepad, so I could see them really having to retool the whole game in a way, and then just adding a lot more content, and who knows, maybe just like have a different interface and stuff like that. So, and it also makes sense that, a lot of the larger Wii U titles are actually getting sequels rather than ports, such as Splatoon, such as Smash, games like that. So I could see them just, making a Mario Maker 2 just to, make it, give the series a new entry, fresh coat of paint. They're going to have to change a lot because, like I said, the gamepad problem. So, yeah, I could see Mario Maker 2 making it. I could almost see them saving it for an E3 reveal, but it's possible. So that's the only reason why I say it's rather likely. I think it's going to happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen this Direct. That's the only thing I'm saying. And now it depends on, could we get another drought of no Direct until E3? That's possible. So maybe if they're not planning on having another Direct before E3, aside from maybe like a Pokemon Direct or something, then maybe that's the route they'll go. Maybe they will reveal a whole bunch. It's about a 35-minute presentation, so they can't cram all this in there that I'm talking about, but it's possible that they do like quick flashes of certain games like Yoshi's Woolly World Yoshi's Crafted World, and some other games like Metroid Prime Trilogy. I could see them that being a very quick announcement, not necessarily getting super in depth with it, maybe like a minute or two. So it's possible they could cram a lot into the 35 minutes. They did with the last Direct, but and there's certainly no way all of this is going to be revealed. That's for sure. But I think it's possible that Mario Maker 2 will be announced. The other big leak that was talked about was, and perhaps the biggest part of the leak, was a new 2D Zelda, which would be interesting. I'd imagine that the developer, whose name is escaping my brain right now, don't mind me, guys. It's rather late when I'm recording this, but I believe the developer who worked on Triforce Heroes and A Link Between Worlds has been a bit quiet. We don't know what they've been up to, so I'd imagine that developer must be working on some kind of Zelda thing. There were rumors about a Link's Awakening remake in that kind of A Link Between Worlds style. That would be awesome. I would love that. I love Link's Awakening. So that would be kind of neat to see. Or it's also possible that, by 2D Zelda they mean top-down perspective, so it could be another remake, or it could be something in the vein of Triforce Heroes or Four Swords Adventures, maybe some kind of multiplayer game. Either way, I'd be excited to kind of see a sort of classic style Zelda, maybe done in some kind of different way, or with some kind of interesting way to kind of change it up a little bit. It'd be kind of exciting to me to see some kind of Zelda in that style for the Switch. So because Breath of the Wild obviously was an amazing game, but I also wouldn't, I understand that Breath of the Wild is kind of like the step forward for the series, but I'm okay with having a sort of smaller title of the series that's back to that older style Zelda that I love. So especially in the vein of, I loved A Link Between Worlds, and I love A Link to the Past, so that kind of Zelda is something that I could really get behind. And I was also a huge fan of Triforce Heroes, so having a game like Triforce Heroes that I could play with my friends would be amazing. I would love that. So yeah, I'm excited about the 2D Zelda. I think it's rather likely it's going to be talked about. It's possible it's not talked about this Direct, and maybe they again reveal it at E3. It depends, I think, on how big the game is. If it's going to be like a big adventure game in the style of, probably not something to the scale of Breath of the Wild, but if it's going to be a pretty big game that they're planning on, charging full price for, I could see them maybe saving it. But I think it is, like I said, going to be either one of those multiplayer, like I said, not Link Between Worlds, Triforce Heroes type of game, or or something like a remake. I actually kind of hope it's a Link's Awakening remake. That'd be kind of cool too. So I'm okay with either one. Some third-party titles for the rather likely category. The Spyro the Dragon trilogy has been heavily rumored for quite some time now to be ported to the Switch. I'd imagine it's going to happen. I love that. I would probably get it on the Switch because I've missed out on the Spyro games, and the remaster looks awesome. So yeah, I'd be down for it. And apparently also the release date for that had also been leaked by a retailer, so supposedly. So we'll I would imagine that they would maybe potentially reveal the Spyro trilogy. If not in this direct, it's got to be coming. I would imagine it's got to be coming. So I think that's rather likely. I didn't put it on very likely only because there is a small chance I think that it won't be revealed, but I think it still seems fairly likely. I'd be honestly kind of surprised if it wasn't revealed. And I hope it is. Like I said, I'd love to get Spyro for the Switch. The other one in the rather likely camp here that I want to talk about is the last direct we had all of those Final Fantasies just boom 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 7, 9, 10, 10-2, 12, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, Crystal Chronicles Remaster, all announced for the Switch at the same time. I could see them sort of doing something like that with I put on here either Dragon Quest or Kingdom Hearts, or possibly some games from each series. I could definitely see something like that, especially again, to get into the Smash thing. If the rumors are true and there is going to be a Dragon Quest representative as in Smash Bros as a DLC, it would make perfect sense if there was going to be a reveal trailer for a character like Edric to follow it up or precede it with a bunch of Dragon Quest games, or at least a Dragon Quest game coming to the Nintendo Switch. I could also see them doing the same thing if Sora happens to be a character that is revealed for Smash, and even if neither of those characters are, I mean, Dragon Quest seems likely, and Kingdom Hearts, obviously Kingdom Hearts 3 was just released, so that game is fresh in people's minds, and it seems like quite a good opportunity for them to at least put 1.5 and 2.5 on the Switch or something, some kind of Kingdom Hearts collection, or maybe the games separately if the games are too big for the Switch. I don't know the specs of the Kingdom Hearts games versus what the Switch can handle. I don't know, but I'd imagine they could at least get the first game remastered as one game on it, or whatever. They could figure out something, but I think either way Kingdom Hearts and or Dragon Quest seem rather likely to me, and I could see them, like I said, rolling them out just like they did with the Final Fantasy games. So we'll see. On that note, I also think Resident Evil, with the Resident Evil 2 remake, I think that the Resident Evil 2, a compilation of Resident Evil games or several Resident Evil games being released at once seems likely. Resident Evil 4 on the Switch seems like it's gonna happen. That freaking game's been released on every other platform, so why would it not be on the Switch? I'd imagine we'll at least get Resident Evil 4, maybe some of the other games ported, I don't know. But some kind of Resident Evil game seems very likely for the Switch. I don't know if it'll be the Resident Evil 2 remake. I don't know if the Switch is capable of handling that, or maybe it would be, I don't know, but some kind of Resident Evil seems very, very likely. And again, back to, third-party ports, with the Joker reveal, I think Persona 5 is very likely to come to Switch. I put it in the rather likely category for this direct. Now I'm actually kind of thinking maybe very likely. It should have been in the very likely category, because I could also see them saying hey, here's Joker's, this is Joker, this is how he plays, blah, blah, blah. By the way, you'll be able to play this game because Persona 5 is coming to Switch on blah, 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 So that seems like an easy thing to do. So I think Persona 5 seems like a Persona game is going to come to the Switch, I would imagine. I mean, they would be brain dead not to do that. So, as far as third-party titles go, I'd say definitely Spyro Trilogy, probably the most likely of those. Some Resident Evil games, possibly Dragon Quest or Kingdom Hearts, and Persona 5 seem very, very likely to me. Now, moving on to the rather unlikely category here. There's a couple of games that have been talked about that I think we'll just address the elephant in the room right away and just talk about Pokemon on Switch. I don't think that the new core Pokemon game, the successor to Sun and Moon, is going to be revealed at this Direct. I just don't. Pokemon has a history of being revealed separately. Game Freak usually does some kind of press conference. I'm sure they will. Probably, my guess is within like the next couple of months, maybe pre-E3 or something like that. But I would imagine that it is not going to be revealed in this Direct. I could be wrong. I personally think that they're going to focus on Town, or if they do talk about Pokemon, it'll be some kind of spin-off title. But I don't think the core Pokemon for Switch is going to be revealed just yet. Not quite yet. They may allude to it or something, but I personally don't think so. I think the next core Pokemon game is going to be probably the biggest title of the year. I would imagine it'll release around the same time Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu did. Great games, by the way. But I think it's just a bit too early for Pokemon Switch, and again, I don't think it's going to be revealed at a Direct this early. I could be wrong again. Smash was revealed around this time last year in a Direct, so again, I could be wrong, but I'm not feeling. I would love it because I'm probably more hyped for that game than just about any other game on the Switch right now. But I don't think it's quite time yet. Although I hope I'm wrong because I would love to see that game. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. So I'm just going to put that out there. I don't think Pokemon, aside from maybe maybe they'll do like a mystery dungeon. Maybe they'll do some kind of again, spin-off title, but it's possible. But I think if Game Freak has any game that's going to be revealed at Direct or talked about at the Direct, it's going to be Town. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but we'll see. Another one that's talked about that I think is pretty unlikely is Pikmin 4. Apparently this game has been finished for years now, and they haven't talked about it. Pikmin 3 being ported to the Switch might be them gearing up to release Pikmin... did I say that? Yeah. Pikmin 3 being ported to the Switch might be them gearing up to releasing Pikmin 4. But I don't think this year it's going to be... I can't see it being released the same year as the port of the Wii U Pikmin 3. So I think Pikmin 3 is probably going to end up having maybe some bonus content in it. I don't know, maybe a couple extra stages or whatever. But yeah, I can't see them releasing Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 4 in the same year. I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to be revealed at this Direct, that's for sure. But it's also possible. Nintendo sometimes does things in a very weird, convoluted way. So I think it's possible they could do it. I think it's more likely that Pikmin 3 will be released this year, and at the very least not in this half of the year. I could see them possibly, the furthest I could see them going would be them releasing Pikmin 3 very soon, and then maybe the end of the year have Pikmin 4, or maybe early next year, around this time next year, releasing Pikmin 4. I don't know historically when they've released Pikmin games in the past, but I don't think Pikmin 4 is going to happen at this Direct. Rather unlikely, but probably more so, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, is the new Retro game that everybody's been talking about. Retro's been working on something for a while now. We now have confirmation that they're going to be working on the next Metroid Prime 4. So I think a lot of people are wondering, what the heck have they been working on for all this time? So the big rumor is that they're working on a Star Fox racing game called Star Fox Grand Prix. We've heard nothing about that but rumors now for a while. So it's possible that maybe now that Retro has moved on to Metroid Prime 4 that they're going to finally reveal this game. So that is one thing that a lot of people are talking about, this Star Fox racing game. I'd be interested in it. It sounds really cool. Star Fox kind of needs a winner because Star Fox has not had very good luck with that series in the last couple years. So I think it's something that maybe a new game to shake up Star Fox, the franchise, would be good. We've also not really heard anything about Star Fox aside from some of the characters being in Starlink Battle for Atlas. But yeah, I think we're gonna definitely, maybe not definitely. I think there's a chance we could possibly see the Star Fox racing game. If not, it might just not exist. Maybe it's just kind of weird rumor that happened that nobody that everybody picked up on, but there was no basis, and I don't know. But it is certainly suspicious that Retro had been working on something for quite a while, and we still have yet to figure out what it is. So I don't know. Maybe that Star Fox Racing game was even canceled so they could go work on Metroid. Who knows? Or delayed until they can continue working on Metroid Prime. But I don't know, man. Something feels weird there. I could see them potentially doing revealing the Star Fox racing game, Star Fox Grand Prix, whatever it is. So yeah. Mario Golf, Sluggers, Strikers, some kind of Mario sports game. I could see one of those. Again, rather unlikely, but it's possible. Mario Tennis Aces, I think, did pretty well from what I understand. We haven't seen any new entry for any of those series in a while. I'd be interested to figure out what it is that Camelot's doing right now. Mario Golf would be the one I'd want to see. Honestly, that would be a nice little surprise because I love the Mario Golf series, and there hasn't really been a console Mario Golf since the GameCube era. The 3DS Mario Golf was great, but yeah, there hasn't been a Mario Golf in a long time. Sluggers, same. Sluggers, I don't think has been around since the Wii, and Strikers either. So it'd be interesting to see if there'd be some kind of new Mario sports game. I could see Mario Golf. I think most likely of those, but you never know. We maybe the Mario Golf series has not. So I know the 3DS game didn't sell too well, so maybe that series is dead and buried. I don't know, but I would personally be overjoyed for a Mario Golf game. So we'll see. The other thing that's rather unlikely, but it's possible, I think the former here is less likely, the latter more likely. A new Paper Mario game, I feel like is kind of unlikely, but it's not impossible. I think one will eventually come, but not quite yet. But I think what's more likely would be a Color Splash port. Color Splash was a great game, in my opinion. I think that's a very overlooked game. To me, it's the third best Paper Mario game. I think it's better than Super Paper Mario. I haven't played Sticker Star, but I've heard nothing but bad things about it, so I haven't even tried it. Yeah, I thought Color Splash was great. I'd be really happy if they ported it to the Switch. I think that's a game that deserves kind of like a second chance, because I really feel like it was one of the very last games to be released for the Wii U, and it was a damn good game. The story was really solid. I didn't like the battle system. I did not like the card system, but I overlooked it because the game was so much fun, and the story was so good and it was so funny. It was so funny. I loved Color Splash. So yeah, I could see a Color Splash port, but it's possible that they reveal a new Paper Mario. I don't know, but I think both are kind of rather unlikely. So that's probably about all I have to say about that. Another in the rather unlikely category. I hate that I have to put this in here, but it seems rather unlikely. But it would make sense, a Castlevania collection, like Konami, please. I would at least like to see the Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night collection be released for the Switch. That'd be something I would definitely get. But a huge Castlevania collection. I don't know what they're thinking. If anything, even if it was just like the first Castlevania to Symphony of the Night, I would love that. That would be fantastic. Release those chunks of games. So, the first 3, 4, Rondo of Blood, Bloodlines, Symphony of the Night, like that would be a fantastic collection. I don't know if that'll happen, but at the very least, I'd love to see that Rondo of Blood or Symphony of the Night collection that was released for PS4 and Xbox. I'd love to see it on the Switch. So hopefully they do it. I don't know, but I'd put it in the rather unlikely category because it seems hit or miss to me. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. Another back to the so on the rather unlikely side of things, the Smash reveal. So I think it's kind of unlikely that we're going to get a new Smash reveal. I think they're going to focus on Joker. I'm hoping Joker gets a release date and some footage and all that, but I think it's not out of the realm of possibility that's going to be a Smash reveal, or that there isn't going to be a Smash reveal. It just seems a little unlikely. It's possible they give us like a very bare bones trailer like they did with Joker. I'm hoping it's this guy right here. I'm hoping it's Gino. A lot of people are saying that it's probably going to be a Square character, Square Enix character, of which Edric is by far the most predicted right now and seems to have the most seems to be the most likely candidate. I got mixed feelings about that. Like I said, they could do Ederic and, like I was saying before, couple it with some Dragon Quest games for the Switch, or they could do Sora. I know Sora's been heavily requested by people. There's been people who have seen kind of like there've been data miners that have seen in Smash like a different. If you wanna follow Smash Leaks, check out Papagino's channel. He explains it way better than I can. But there's apparently like character specs that kind of like sort of kind of match what Sora might be like. So it's possible it could be Sora. I think if there is a reveal that's a Square Enix character would be likely, or possibly even, a Microsoft character that's also been heavily rumored, or somebody. Personally, I hope if there's a Smash character that is revealed it's somebody that nobody's guessing. I kind of hope for that, or one of these two. I would like that as well, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't really think a Smash reveal is going to happen, but it's possible. I could see it maybe at the very end they do some kind of little tease or something. It's possible, but I don't think it's going to happen this direct. Maybe as a separate reveal late down the line, but not quite yet. And again, the last one for my rather likely or rather unlikely category here is a Nintendo 64 Classic. I seriously think it's coming. I don't care what Reggie says. I don't care what Nintendo says that they're not focusing on that. There's something going on. They've trademarked the name N64 Classic. There's been some weird leaks about like stuff with like Nintendo and Rare. So some people are saying like, well, maybe they're Nintendo and Microsoft with Rare. Like maybe Nintendo's like coordinating something with Microsoft so they could have the rights to some Rare games to put on an N64 Classic. I don't know. The Super NES Classic and the NES Classic sold so well that an N64 Classic seems like a no-brainer and like easy money right there. But they're denying it. In a sense, it also kind of doesn't make sense because there's also, it seems very likely we're going to get Nintendo 64 games on the Switch. So maybe, possibly, Nintendo working with Microsoft would put Rare games on the Switch Online. That's possible, especially with, again, Microsoft and Nintendo promoting crossplay together. Microsoft and Nintendo, now it's now possible, or it's going to be possible to have access Xbox Live via the Switch. Microsoft and Nintendo are very buddy-buddy right now, so it's possible the Nintendo 64 Classic could happen with Rare games on it and stuff, or whatever. It seems rather unlikely that it's going to be revealed tomorrow. I'd be ecstatic if it did. I love the N64. It's one of my favorite consoles, especially if they were to add those Rare games. I don't know, but I just put it in the rather unlikely category. But it is something that's been talked about so much that I could also kind of see it happening. So again, these games all are possible, but I just feel like are a bit far-fetched, some of them a little bit. So I don't know, but we'll see. And now, so now we're gonna get into the fun part. My pie in the sky predictions. Okay, some of these have a little bit of a little bit of not credibility isn't the word, but like it's not out of the realm of possibility. Well, none of them are out of the realm of possibility, but they just seem extremely unlikely and would be huge reveals. And a lot of these are like long fan requested things. On the more likely side of things, even though it's still pie in the sky, would be a new 2D Metroid game now. They released Samus Returns on the 3DS. Love that game. Still playing that game, actually. I've been slowly cracking away at that and loving that game. I love if that studio made another Metroid game. Apparently, they had originally wanted to make a Super Metroid remake, which would be amazing if they did that, because Super Metroid is one of my favorite games of all time. So it's possible they do like a Super Metroid remake, or I'd even like better just a new, Metroidvania style, classic 2D Metroid. I would love that. So, that would be, if they are working on one, maybe again with the void that has been left behind by Metroid Prime 4, maybe there has been one in development, and they'll just kind of maybe show like a very small trailer or a brief trailer, because it could be something that's still kind of early in development, but maybe they'll want to show it to kind of whet people's appetites in in lieu of Metroid Prime 4. So it's something that I could see maybe more likely than some other pie in the sky stuff I've got on this list. But yeah, I'd love a 2D Metroid. I'd go nuts over that. 2D Metroid for the Switch? Are you kidding me? Ugh, that would quickly become my most anticipated game for the Switch, even more so than Metroid Prime, because I like what I've played of the first game, but I haven't played the other two. And for me, Metroid has always been those. My favorite Metroid has always been those 2D Metroid, Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, Zero Mission, now Samus Returns. I love those games, so a 2D Metroid would make me go crazy. I would love it. I think a lot of people, in the same vein, would love a new F-Zero or a new Star Fox. Pie in the sky. Never really played much F-Zero, but I think it'd make a lot of people happy. Kind of don't think it's going to happen, but you got to throw it out there. New Star Fox. I think if we do get a new Star Fox, it'll be that potential racing game. Possibly a Star Fox Zero port with like different controls. Possibly. But a brand new Star Fox game, pie in the sky. Maybe. I doubt it, but might as well throw it out there. And while we're throwing out stuff, a Golden Sun collection or a new Golden Sun game. Now this, again, we don't know what Camelot's up to, and Nintendo again did recently trademark the Golden Sun name, and also Isaac's in Smash, and Golden Sun's been getting a lot of attention lately. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It just seems kind of pie in the sky at the moment. I'm hoping eventually that series will come back in some way, but it's unlikely. If it gets revealed, that would be fantastic. Like, that'd be a cool surprise, but I kind of doubt. I kind of doubt it. For me, super biggest pie in the sky thing ever would be a Super Mario RPG 2, developed by Nintendo and Square Enix, along with a Geno Smash reveal. That's the dream. Don't judge me for it. I would love a direct sequel to Super Mario RPG 2, or to Super Mario RPG. That would be absolutely amazing. It's not going to happen. Operation Starfall. Look into it. Okay? Sign the petition. We need Super Mario RPG to come back. We need Geno to come back. We need Mallow to come back. I would love a sequel to Super Mario RPG 2. Again, Bowser's Inside Story was released. So maybe... Again, Alpha Dream, I believe, is the company. I think I actually got one of the companies right for once. But who knows what they're going to be working on next? I don't know. I would imagine the 3DS is done. Maybe they got a Partners in Time remake or something that's going to happen first. But I could see them maybe helping with the development of something like that. I don't know. Probably never going to happen, honestly. But it's pie in the sky, right? Give me my Super Mario RPG 2. Give me Geno. So, anyway. And the last one that is pie in the sky, a lot of people are talking about it. There's been a lot of rumors. There's a lot of evidence. A lot of people say there's a lot of evidence towards this, but as a longtime fan of this series, I have to say I'm keeping, all of that. I'm keeping my skeptic glasses on here because as a huge longtime fan of the series, I've been burned so many times. A Mother trilogy and Mother 3 localization. Everybody's saying, okay, when all of those Super NES games, when the titles of all the Super NES games came out that are potentially going to be on the Switch's online service, everybody kind of noticed that Earthbound is missing. It's like one of the only Super NES classic games that's missing. And people are saying, well, maybe that's leading to, maybe they're going to do something else with Earthbound, And, it is the 30th anniversary of the Mother series this year. We've recently heard talks about how Mother 3 was going to be localized, but due to controversy and whatnot, it didn't happen. Now I will say we did get the original Mother, Earthbound Zero, Earthbound Beginnings, whatever you want to call it, for the Wii U, so I could see potentially that happening. But I'm not keeping my hopes up, man. I've been wanting a Mother 3 localization since forever. I've wanted Earthbound. I've wanted a collection of that trilogy so bad for so long that it just feels like it's never going to happen. And I'm keeping my expectations very low. But of course, I would love it. I would go ecstatic. If there was a Mother trilogy like game announced, or a Mother 3 localization, or even something insane like a remake or like a Mother 4, that's never gonna happen. Itoi said it's never gonna happen. I would go ecstatic. It'd be nice to have some kind of acknowledgement of the Mother series 30th anniversary. It's a beloved series to me. I absolutely love the game, but I can't see it happening, and I'm not going to keep my hopes up. I don't want to be disappointed again. You know, I really, really love that series. And also, people are saying, well, it's, you know, it's the 30th anniversary. You know, Metroid's 30th anniversary came up, and they didn't do jack. You know, I mean, they didn't. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do anything for Metroid. So, you know, and Metroid is a much bigger franchise than the Mother series. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm not trying to be like Mr. Pessimistic here, but as a Mother fan, I'm trying to keep my expectations low. And then, of course, if it does happen, I'll go nuts. I'll go crazy. I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy. I love that series so much. So that's my last pie in the sky prediction. Probably not going to happen, but we'll throw it on there. So, but anyway, guys, that's my predictions for the Nintendo Direct later today. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be watching. I'll be you can check out my Discord below. I'll probably just message in real time, you know, my thoughts of the Direct. I like I said, I can't record a reaction. I got to work and stuff and all that, but I am going to be able to watch it. I'm going to make sure I, you know, watch it right when it starts because I'm hyped. So I'm just going to be looking at my phone a lot. That's all. So anyway, but I appreciate you guys watching this. I hope this was a thoughtful discussion. I hope I changed it up a little bit because a lot of people have been saying a lot of the same things. So I wanted to put my perspective on things. And yeah, I'm stoked for the Direct, guys. It's going to be awesome. We'll see what games come out. And I hope your gaming dreams come true. And also make sure you check out my discussion video with James tomorrow. It'll be on James's channel. Again, link in the description. And if you're new to my channel, thank you for checking out this video, and I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Peace. Have a good one.